Hey football fans, you won't believe what went down in the pregame of Thursday night's Green Bay Packers vs Detroit Lions game. Imagine this. You're gearing up for a big game. Your heart's racing. You're ready to cheer your team on, and then, bam, a totally unexpected showdown happens before the game even kicks off. Yeah, it wasn't just a regular warm-up, it was more like a reality TV moment. And Packers head coach Matt LaFleur was the star. Now, if you're wondering what could possibly have been so dramatic during pregame warm-ups, you're in for a ride. It all started with none other than a Lions fan, who, mind you, was wearing a Brian Branch jersey. So you know it's about to be a spicy situation. He was out on the field helping hold the American flag during the national anthem. Seems innocent enough, right? But hold up. This is where the plot thickens. Coach LaFleur and this fan ended up face to face. And it wasn't exactly good vibes. Man, there was some serious yelling, some pointing, and let's just say the pregame mood went from, "Let's go team," to, "Is this an NFL game or a reality show feud?" pretty fast. Now, before you think the fan was just overenthusiastically supporting his Lions, this wasn't exactly a friendly back and forth. The fan apparently got all up in the face of LaFleur and the Packers players, throwing some rather unsportsmanlike gestures around, including the infamous throat slash sign. Yeah, this fan was definitely not trying to make any friends. The altercation was so intense that a Packers staffer had to step in between them. And as things escalated, some players started to approach, probably trying to figure out if they were about to get a new friend or have to break up a fight. Fortunately, the officials quickly stepped in to break things up before things got too out of hand. And that's when LaFleur had to process what just happened. LaFleur's thoughts after the game. After the game, LaFleur opened up about the situation. And folks, his reaction? Well, let's just say he was not happy. "I've never been a part of something like that," LaFleur said. And if you know anything about Matt LaFleur, this man has been around the NFL for quite some time. But even he couldn't believe what was happening right there in front of him. He was talking junk to our players, giving them the throat slash sign. LaFleur said, clearly still a bit flabbergasted. "You're trying to de-escalate it. And then he gets in my face. So I thought it was pretty unsportsmanlike." Now, when your coach is calling something unsportsmanlike, you know things have crossed the line. But here's where things take an even juicier turn. LaFleur wished the fan had been removed from the field earlier, before things could get even more heated. "I've never seen that. I've been on many fields. And usually, they police that much better," LaFleur said, shaking his head. "I thought it was an arrogant fan that, wanted to get in on part of the action. A lesson for security teams everywhere." And here's where we have to take a step back and really think. When a confrontation like this happens in the middle of the game, where's the security to keep things cool? I mean, come on, we're all for fans being passionate. But there's a line, and this dude definitely crossed it. LaFleur was right to point out that the fan should have been escorted off the field before the whole thing got so dramatic. Security should have stepped in earlier. This shouldn't be happening, LaFleur added. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. Fans should be allowed to support their team. But crossing the line like that? Definitely not cool. The aftermath, the game and the loss. Of course, let's not forget the actual game, where the Packers ended up losing 34-31 to the Lions. A tough loss that dropped the Packers to 9-4, putting them 3 games back in the NFC North race. You'd think this heated moment would fire the team up. But instead, it just made everything a little more chaotic. Now, they'll have to fight even harder to keep their playoff hopes alive. LaFleur clearly didn't want that kind of distraction before the game. It's one thing to face off against another NFL team on the field. But having to deal with a rogue fan creating a scene? Not exactly the kind of warm-up any coach wants. It's just a reminder that in the NFL, there's always drama, and sometimes, it's not even on the scoreboard. The takeaway: what can be done? So, what's the lesson here? Well, first off, fans, let's keep it respectful. Yeah? There's no need to get physical or shout across the field at players or coaches. Second, security teams, make sure you're on top of things before they escalate. We don't want to see any more of these crazy pregame showdowns. And finally, to Coach LaFleur, you've got your hands full with a passionate fan base and a tough division battle ahead. But hey, if you need to take a deep breath and relax, there's always next week. Closing. Alright, Guys, that's all the drama I've got for today. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome football content. You don't want to miss out on all the madness coming your way. Catch you next time, and as always, keep it sporty. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a football fan or just love a bit of drama with your sports, then you're in the right place because boy, do we have some spicy news for you today. Grab your snacks, buckle up, and let's dive into the wild world of football, where sometimes the real action happens off the field. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, because trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Let's go. Alright, let's talk about something that's not your typical pregame ritual. We've seen it all: cheerleaders, marching bands, wild fans in crazy outfits. But have you ever seen a head coach confront a fan before the game even started? Yep, you heard me right, this actually happened. Now, we all know that NFL games can get intense, right? But the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions took it to a whole new level before their recent game on Thursday night. The game wasn't just about what happened on the field, it was what went down before the game even started. Picture this: Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, ready to face off against the Lions in an NFC North showdown, walking onto the field and suddenly finding himself in a confrontation with a fan. But not just any fan, a Lions fan, wearing a Brian Branch jersey, who somehow made his way past security and onto the field. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, what? How does this happen? I mean, I get it, security's gotta be tight at a big game, right? Well, apparently not, because this fan was strolling around like it was his own backyard. And to make matters even juicier, this fan wasn't exactly there for the team spirit vibes. Oh no, this guy was trash-talking and making threatening gestures to the Packers players. And you know what? That's when LaFleur, a calm and collected coach, decided he'd had enough. Cameras caught the whole thing as LaFleur got right up in the fan's face, metaphorically, of course. The guy was tossing out the classic throat slash sign, a gesture that, let's be honest, we've seen on the field but never before a game even started. I mean, talk about starting things off with a bang, right? So, what did LaFleur do? He didn't back down. Instead of just shrugging it off, he made sure to confront the fan, all while the officials were trying to get the guy escorted out. But here's the kicker: LaFleur wasn't exactly thrilled with how security handled the whole situation. He said, and I quote, "I thought it was pretty unsportsmanlike. I've never seen anything like that." Yeah, no kidding. Matt, you're not exactly used to having to referee before the game kicks off. In his post-game interview, LaFleur wasn't shy about expressing his frustration. He pointed out how, in his experience, security usually handles these things much better. He didn't mince words when he said, "You're trying to de-escalate it, and then he gets in my face. I would like to see security step in and get him out of there." Well, when your coach is telling you to step up your security game, you know you've dropped the ball. And let's be real, who wouldn't be frustrated in that situation? LaFleur was there to coach a team, not break up fan altercations. But hey, that's sports for you, always keeping you on your toes. Now, let's fast forward to the actual game, Packers versus Lions. The action on the field was just as dramatic as the pregame drama. The Lions came out on top, winning 34-31 in a nail-biting finish. But let's not forget, this wasn't just another regular game. This was a classic NFC North showdown where the stakes were high. The Packers, sitting at 9-4, were looking to gain some ground on the division-leading Lions, who were 12-1 going into the game. The Lions, despite facing a number of injuries and a depleted defense, managed to rise above and get the job done. Jared Goff might have thrown an interception, but he bounced back strong with some key throws in the final minutes, showing why he's been such a solid quarterback this season. And let's not forget about Dan Campbell, the man, the myth, the legend. The Lions head coach didn't hesitate to make bold calls, even going for it on fourth down like it was a Tuesday afternoon stroll. Campbell's decision-making helped the Lions finish the game strong and secure a playoff berth for the second year in a row. Talk about confidence. But back to LaFleur and that pregame debacle. What happened to the fan? Did he get banned for life? Was he thrown into the pit of shame, never to return to Ford Field again? We don't know for sure. But it's safe to say he wasn't sticking around to watch